Are you thinking about closing your doors in 2024? Let me tell you about a common story that I have heard over and over again. You're passionate about beauty. You've always had a creative streak. You've always been creative. Everybody's so creative. Maybe you decided to take the next step and invest in an aesthetics class, a microblading class, lash extensions, whatever it is. And in your mind, you're thinking to yourself, I'm going to learn this amazing new skill. I'm going to do it for a few friends on the side and make some extra money. Fast forward a few months, and suddenly you've got a full client list without even realizing it, and you have, in effect, opened a business. Here's the thing they didn't teach you in that 2, 3, 4-day class. You came for the artistry, for the fun, for the excitement of learning something new and creative. You didn't sign up thinking, I'm going to become a full-blown business owner. But guess what, honey? That's exactly what you did. That's exactly what you did. You didn't apply for a job with your new skill set. You didn't say, hey, can I work here? Can I give you half my money when I work? No, you wanted 100%. So you opened up your own business, and now you probably keep 20%. Here's where many of us get so tripped up. When you suddenly find yourself running a business, everything actually feels really overwhelming. It's one thing to feel like you've mastered your craft and you're really good at this, but it's a whole different thing to manage the finances of it, to market it, to manage client relations. So I want to talk about the importance of your actual business plan and why you need a business plan. No one has one. A lot of people think that a business plan is something that you need if you're going to go open a storefront and you need a loan from a bank. But let me tell you, even if you are a one-woman show, if you're a solo esthetician, if all you do is rent a room and do lashes, how do you know where your business is headed if you don't have a plan? It's like getting in the car and just driving somewhere and I don't know where I'm going, I'm just going. That sounds romantic when you're in your 20s, but when you are in your mid-20s, your late 20s, your early 30s, you're like, what the? Think about it this way. You're a solo esthetician. You have clients. You have bookings. But what do you do when life throws you some kind of curveball? Maybe it's slow months and you're not hitting your income goals. Have you even set income goals, by the way? Maybe you want to expand your services, but you have no idea how to price them. Or if you even have the bandwidth to take on more work right now. Or what if, and stay with me here, what if you actually want to take a vacation? How do you structure your time so that you're not losing money while you take time off from your business? How do you take maternity leave? A business plan gives you that roadmap, and it forces you to think about your actual goals and to look at your finances and how you're operating, how you're spending that money and your marketing before you ever hit those proverbial bumps in the road. Let's break it down with a couple of real life scenarios that you actually could face. Okay, so let's start with everybody's least favorite, cash flow issues. You have bills to pay. You do, period. You have rent to pay or mortgage like me. You own products or you use them. You need insurance. What happens when things get slow? You can forecast slow months and you can kind of try to prepare for them financially so that you're not scrambling at the end of every month. But let's say that you want to add new services to pad your bookings, like facials, body waxing, something to add to your menu. Do you know how much it's going to cost you to add new things to your menu? Not just products, but also time, training, marketing that. A business plan will help you to calculate those expenses and then determine whether or not they would actually generate money or take more money from you. Also, hiring. If your business is growing so much that you're considering hiring an assistant or renting a larger space, how much should you be paying? How many clients do you need to cover that expense? This is all stuff that a business plan will help you figure out. So, okay, let's say you've got clients, but how do you keep them coming back into the business over and over again? Do you have a strategy in place for what's called client retention? Do you like referral programs, social media marketing? By the way, social media marketing does not mean that you post on Instagram. Please stop telling me that. But both of these are essential parts of your business plan. Without a business plan, you're just winging it. You might work for a little while, but then eventually you're going to hit a wall because you never had a plan. So you can't foresee the obstacles that are coming in your business later. Let's talk about what goes into a business plan. Don't get overwhelmed here. This does not need to be a 50-page document. I'm talking about just a simple, straightforward business plan that helps you to plan out for problems in your business, a business plan. So there's something called the executive summary that usually goes first because it's just a summary of everything you're going to look at. So this is an overview of the actual business itself. Who are you? What services do you offer? And what are your goals? It's like the About Me section of your business, basically. Then you'll have a business description. So this dives a little bit deeper into what your business actually does. So what do you do? And then why is it different from how other people do it? What sets you apart? Who is your target market? Who's your ideal client? Are you catering to busy moms? Are you catering to brides, acne clients? By the way, speaking of your target market, which is such a corporate term, do you know who they are? Do you know who they are? We're talking about your ideal client here. Where are they spending money? What problem are you solving for them? You need to know your audience like inside and out. You need to know them super, super well so that you can position yourself as the go-to solution for that one problem. Like, oh man, I have acne. Like, you've got to go to Jill. She is the acne queen. That's what I mean by that. Okay, and then everyone's least favorite is the financial plan. This is a big one, okay, because you work for yourself. How much money do you actually need to make every month to cover your expenses at work and to pay yourself to cover your expenses personally? What are your startup costs? What's your pricing strategy? And how much profit are you actually making on each service? That's called your margins. What do your margins look like? How are you going to get these clients? So this is where you'll actually lay out like your social media strategy, your referral programs, and then any other like marketing tactics that you're going to use. I want you to think about how you're going to build your brand to attract new clients and also how you're going to structure your brand so that you keep current clients. Okay, then you got to go into your operations. So what does your day-to-day look like? What are you supposed to be doing all day? What hours are you working? What days do you work? How are you managing things like your books? How are you booking people? Your inventory. How do you know when it's time to reorder? What does low stock mean to you? But you have to have this in place so that you can avoid burnout and so that things move smoothly. So then I want you to think about goals. Let's talk about your future. Where do you want to be in 6 months, 5 years? Let's talk about measurable goals that we can check off and say, I did it or I didn't do it. Moving forward, you'll be able to break those goals down into like bite-sized pieces so that you're always working toward your goal. I know that all this information sounds like a lot. But newsflash, you don't have to start from scratch. You can actually hop on somewhere like Etsy or I Like Creative Market, and you can get templates for business plans and just plug your information into it and then customize it for your own business. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. You don't need to go to some MBA class. You can just buy a template for like $20 and plan it all out in a weekend. Yes, if you are already 3 or 4 or 5 years into business and you don't have a business plan, yes, you should still do this. If you've been operating without a plan this long, it's never too late to get organized. In fact, it's actually the best time to create a business plan because whether you've been in business for years or you're just getting started, having a plan is going to set you up for success in ways you can't even imagine. It might be the thing that's missing from growing the business or from getting your clients back in. I really just can't stress it enough. A business plan is not just for big corporations who are looking for investors. It is also for you. It is also for the solo esthetician, for the microblading educator, for the lash tech who's running her own show. You owe it to yourself to have a roadmap and know where you're going. If you've ever sat down and said to a boyfriend or a girlfriend, so what are we? Or like, I don't see this going any further. If you've ever sat down, even alone with a cup of coffee at CC's, you guys don't have CC's, at Starbucks and thought to yourself like, internally, not thinking aloud, just in your own head, sat down and thought, he might be the one. I think I could marry him. He might be the one. I don't like his last name. I might keep my last name. That's more planning than you've done on your own goddamn business. Are you kidding me? Go over to creativemarket.com or to Etsy, type in business plan template. You can even Google this. There are other people out there who create templates for a living and they host them on their own websites. So wherever you want to look for a template, go and look for one. I'm not going to provide you with one. I'm not going to sell you one. I'm not going to go create one. I don't need to reinvent the wheel. There are plenty of them out there. Plus, I'm your friend, not your mother. I don't need to supply you with everything. I'm just telling you, you're missing a huge component of your business. And that could be the missing ingredient to being able to finish the puzzle, figure out how to move your business to the next level, why it is that your clients are not returning year after year, why you're always struggling at the end of the month to cover the bills. This could be it. When you get this full scope picture, it kind of solves everything for you. So I don't have any links for you to click, and I don't have anything for you to download. I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm just trying to save you, especially in 2024 when so many people are closing their doors. So I love you, and I will see you next week in another episode right here on my channel.